Just going to do a short video of importing a PDF file and then reading that PDF file into a data frame. So the PDF file is basically this one. Basically this is an export from Excel. It's just a table with date, period of time. It's my data usage basically. So daytime data and nighttime data on different days, and then the different usages. So I'm using Camelot in order to read from this PDF. You can look at the documentation for Camelot to see what you need to do to install and import that. So then we'll just go ahead and we'll say data.cm.read PDF. So in this case, my file is called data usage.pdf. So if we look at that, oops, one more step I'm missing. Data equals data 0. Okay, so in this case we've got a data frame which is not ideal but also not too difficult to fix. So basically we've got the different columns all smooshed into one column and separated by a next line character. So all we're going to do is we're going to split this one column into the respective columns, but in order to split it we need to have a better name for the column. So let's just rename that column. Let's go that columns, we'll just call that A, and then you can see the columns renamed to A. Then all we need to do is split that column A into the respective columns. So we'll go data equals data dot A for the column name, str and split, and we're going to split it on the backslash or the next line character because that's what's separating our different columns, and then we can set expand to true. And what we should have now is our split columns, but this date column I see has combined the date and the period for the data, so the daytime data and the nighttime data. So the date and that still needs to be separated into two separate columns. So what I'm going to do first is just rename these column headers with the first row. So I'm going to say data.columns, data.alloc to identify the row 0. That should have worked, and then we can just drop that first row to get rid of those column headers. Drop 0. Okay, that's looking a bit better. Now all we need to do is split the date row. What I'm going to do here is, in order to split that, instead of simply doing something like this, date split, and in this case I'll be splitting by a space. Instead of doing this, because essentially what's going to happen if I do this is I'm only going to get these two columns returned, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm also looking for these columns to remain in my data frame. All I'm going to do is I'm going to set new columns. So let's keep that column date, and we're going to create a new column called period. And essentially what's going to happen is we're creating two new columns, or in this case one new column because date already exists, and those columns are going to exist out of this piece of code which is just splitting the date column. So we look at that, what we've got now is something a lot nicer. We've got our different columns with the respective data. It all seems right. So now we just need to maybe isolate the different columns we want. So let's say we're looking for date. Oh, that's not right. We should not be calling that time. That should be called remaining. Actually, that should be remaining usage. So let's just rename time equals nope. Actually, I'll just use the rename function. Data.rename. We'll go columns equal. Actually, I want that down there. And then we're going to have rename columns, rename time to remaining. There we go. So as we can see, the column time has now been renamed to remaining. Let's just set that equal to. Okay, that's looking a bit better. I didn't actually have to do that because I'm not looking for that column. All I need is date, real usage, and period. So let's just set data equals to data, and what I'm going to use, I'm going to drop. Let's drop. It's a lot quicker because I'm going to identify these two by their column position. Because what you could do is just set data equals to data and then type out the names of the columns. But if you've got a larger data set, typing out the names of all the columns is not usually ideal. So let's go data drop columns. Columns, that's 1 and 2. Nope. Let's go data dot index. That's 1 and 2. Also not. Well, let's go iloc, which is usually let's go. Okay, so there we've dropped 2 of those columns, and let's just go to, let's just do that. Yeah. Okay, so you've got data, real usage, and period. So the last thing we might want to do here is I want to swap period and real usage, because I want them to sort of be next to each other, or the other way around, data and then period and then real usage. So again, what you could do is just set data equals to data and then type in date and then period and then real usage, but that can get tedious if you're working with a larger data set and you're trying to select more. So ideally you'd like to use the position of the column, like 0, 1, and 2. So what you can use is the reindex function, which basically allows you, columns should work here but with double brackets. So I want date first, which is 0, then I want period, which is 2, and then I want real usage, which is 1. Columns is not defined. So I'm just going to set data equals to this. Data.reindex columns equal, there's my mistake, data.columns, and that should give me what I need. Yeah, so now I've got the new data frame with date and then period and then real usage, and from here I could go in and do some amazing things with my visualization and some data manipulation. So that's just a quick way to read some data from a PDF document, a data table, and then just a little manipulation to format it in a way that is useful to you.